Hello everybody, here we are down in Germany, and I've made a couple of slight altercations. So I've turned the difficulty up from 75 to 77, and I've turned traction control from full to medium, and well, that's about all really. And we are going to be doing qualifying in the wet, so this is going to be interesting. Let's get out there and see what kind of pace we can settle ourselves into.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
Here we go. Alrighty, I'm a little bit worried since I just turned down traction control from medium. Well, down to medium. So I'm a little bit worried on this wet circuit here. I'm a little bit worried on how I'm going to perform in qualifying and how that's gonna turn out where we start out in the race. So far it's not looking good for us as we go onto the grass already, and I think that's Lando Norris behind us, coming out for his flying lap. And Nico Hulkenberg sets the fastest lap so far, which would be pretty easy since there's no cars out yet, and we've already slid straight off the track. And I don't know how well we're going to go with also uppering the difficulty. So this is going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. I actually haven't driven on Germany for a while. Yeah, so as you can see, that corner was extremely terrible. Super slow, struggling for grip as you would expect. And I've had a great experience with rain on this game so far, as in the last race. As in our last race, but if you haven't seen that, I'm not going to spoil that for you. But if you have spare time, go down and watch that if you don't mind. It'll help me out lots. But right now we are not driving very well, as Lando is going a lot faster than us as we lose the back end slightly. And most of my speed is, well, since McLaren's struggling for powertrain right now, most of the speed I have is, well, through corners. Alrighty, so we set a P7 early starts in the race. P8 now, thanks to Lando Norris stealing P7. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if the race unfolded with us starting in P8 or in the top 10 somewhere would be nice, since I don't expect too much from myself during qualifying. Alrighty, let's head back to the garage. Alrighty, here we go for our second attempt. Right now I think we are currently in P15, and Lando Norris has also been pushed back to P12. So we have a lot of lost ground to make up. We get a much better exit there, so we'll be able to have a lot more pace onto the straight. So that felt a lot better through there, but obviously our time is not representing the same results. And we did not send it wide through and gain a huge amount of time. Lots of pace. Get on the throttle sooner. Things are looking up already by a long margin. Alrighty, just gonna not try and dive too late into this corner here, as things would go really appallingly if they did. We only lose time through there as we stay on the curb. That was not nice. Lost heaps and heaps of valuable qualifying time there. Going wide. Oh, when we've spun onto the grass, this is not looking good for us so far. Not good at all. Alrighty, I think we might want to skip later into qualifying. Alright, we still have not improved on our lap time, so we're going to have to get something out real fast if we're going to perform even slightly well in this race today. I mean, we still will probably perform rather well, but we're going to start from a long margin back. And we do set a lap time of 1 second faster, and that puts us up into P3 so far. That's actually, I'm impressed with that. I mean, if we do end up qualifying for P3, I'm probably going to have to turn up the difficulty a little bit more. Alrighty, let's see how things unfold. Alrighty, we have lost quite a couple of positions here. We lost them to Max Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, Lucas Weber, and Lance Stroll, which I'm honestly not too disappointed with. It's just that, where is Lando? Okay, that's a little bit of a disappointing result from Lando Norris. I know he can do a lot better than that. I've been performing rather well in my past couple of races. No reason he can't. We've been buying upgrades. It's a bit disappointing, but not to worry. When the races we've got a dry race, so that's going to be a lot easier to make positions up. We're gonna, depending on what our strategy is going to be, we might come in early, late. Anyway, let's get down to the race. Let's go.
There's nowhere at all I'd rather be today than here at Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. We have an incredibly competitive field this year, which means we should be in for a treat. And judging by the sea of people filling the grandstands, there's a fair-sized chunk of Germany that agrees with me. It's 2.8 miles around the Hockenheim ring then, with an average lap speed in excess of 130 miles per hour. The long curved back straight leads into a tight hairpin for the best overtaking opportunity on the circuit. But there are plenty of other options available around the 17 corners here today. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Can we begin by having a chat about Charles Leclerc? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Lucas Weber, and Stroll, Thomas, Butler, Gasly, and Daniel Ricciardo. Raikkonen, Perez, Alexander Albon, and Kvyat, Hülkenberg, Kubica, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Charles Leclerc. Russell and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Alrighty, here we are down on the track for the German Grand Prix. The strategy for today's race is 6 laps on the soft tyres and 11 laps on the medium. Lando Norris has received a 10-place grid penalty. I don't know what for, but he's going to be starting from last place this race, which is not good for the team. And without further ado, let's get on with the race. To the countdown. Alrighty, here we go. We get a decent launch off the start there, as we're going to chuck it up into reach for the first corner. We're going to have to brake hard to not make any contact with the front runners, but we do get side slammed by Devon and Butler. Lucas Weber is right ahead of us. I did not know they were actually in the same team. How ironic, to say the least. But we have held our ground at the start here, getting past, I think that was Butler at the start. So we are not looking too shabby. We're going to try and go for a move on Weber here, having to swerve so we did not run into the back of Vettel there. And we go wide and manage to get around Weber. And we've got the speed coming out of this corner, potentially able to get past Vettel here, holding the outside. And we're going to have to swerve again to avoid Max Verstappen, and we do lose the position to Vettel. Hectic start already, extremely fun. Drivers are performing well. We are making a couple mistakes here at the start. I don't know why we are making these ones. We're supposed to be decent at our job, and we've been spun round by Weber here. And we are up into P10, not what we like to see. That is not nice in the slightest. Valtteri Bottas comes across the line in first. Despite in qualifying, well, for qualifying was really exciting between the Mercedes team, since they were 0.01 milliseconds apart. As we do run up onto the curb there and do make a slight bit of contact with Perez, sorry, not Pierre Gasly. As I didn't know Gasly is in Racing Point. It's interesting, and we have only a very small amount of DRS left. We're going round behind, well, we got around Stroll, and we are right behind, we're right next to Butler here, as he leaves us no space to go for a move, but we dive bomb down on the inside. We're having to go off the track slightly to make sure there's room and do not spin Butler out.
The energy store is getting warm, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
And we make a mistake as we go into the gravel, and Lance Stroll flies past us there, as he does make a little bit of contact trying to get past. Not where we want to really be at this stage in the race so far. Lewis Hamilton has managed to beat Valtteri Bottas's time.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now
And we've touched Stroll. Alright, that was our fault there. I am very sorry about that, Stroll. As we have to go into the grass to get past, and that's an illegal overtake. We end their position back. That is unfortunate. We do lose a lot more time, as it looks like Perez is making a move on Gasly here. We're going to have to try and hold off the inside line, as these two are fighting wildly, trying to get back at us here. And we are in rich, which I will have to turn down now, into standard, and turn our fuel into low. I mean, our ERS. We are not in a great position so far.
window. You'll be on the mediums.
Lovely. And we have DRS. We have to go wide around the outside to make a pass. Butler there, as he leaves us no space to make a maneuver. But we do manage to get past, and he goes for a dive bomb. We did not want to get rear-ended there, so we did not cover him off. And we do have DRS on Lance Stroll here, so we should be able to catch him into the next one or two, well, next two corners probably. Well, we are carrying some serious pace out of here, and we're going to go for a dive bomb on him. We go rather wide, and he may go for the switchback. Yes, he does. I'm not surprised that our maneuver did not work. But that does not matter. We're going to go for a dive bomb into this corner here. Now, we were too far back and braking a little bit too early there to make a maneuver. Alrighty, let's move on a little bit later into the race. Alrighty, I just got word from Jeff. This is our in-lap, so we're going to get a fresh pair of medium tyres, and we are also leading Lando Norris by 6 seconds here, so he's made up a little bit a small bit of ground. Alrighty, here we come, nearing the pit lane entry. So we're going to be entering that right now. As we also ride up on the gravel there somehow. And plenty more cars are coming in for their stop. I think that we have a Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari all coming in for their stops. We are following them. We're going to be a long way behind now. We are held up. Oh, that is not nice. We get held up by, I think that was Sergio Perez. And we do manage to still escape up into P14, since I think a couple of cars came in for their stops behind us. Alrighty, let's push and see what kind of ground we can make up. Alrighty, Lando Norris is now in the pits. Wow, we have made a lot of ground from him. Almost an entire lap, actually, and a lot of other cars are coming in from their stop, so we're going to hopefully try and beat them out of the pit lane. And we do manage to beat out Charles Leclerc and Perez. We are now in P8. Alrighty, we are right behind Robert Kubica here. And he was covering the inside apparently through that corner. Do tell, Jeff, do tell. Robert Kubica driving defensively, trying to save his skin, as we do make the move past him. Lovely. And we get DRS into the next corner as well. That is lovely. Alrighty, we have DRS on Lucas Weber and Lance Stroll here. We might be able to make a move. We're going up the inside on both of the cars, and we kind of brake checked them there at the exit of the corner, and we do manage to get past both of them. A small warning with a collision with Stroll, which I honestly did not feel any vibration with, so don't even knew we made a collision with him. We're now gonna have to try and get away from these two, and that secures us P5 so far. Not bad. Alrighty, here we are on the final lap of the German Grand Prix.
This is your final lap of the race.
Let's see, because I also think we have a penalty now, so we've got to try and maintain this gap to the cars behind, so yeah, we better run. I don't know how we got the penalty. Please let me speak. Yeah, because I don't actually remember getting anything that telling me no notification that I had a penalty, which is extremely weird. But anyway, let's let the music take control.
I can make the earth quake. It is so hard, I ain't got a fade.